And we're back. We're back for One Piece, chapter 1118, Being Free. Now, it's a very controversial chapter. I don't get why it's controversial. So, I'll discuss my thoughts at the beginning, and then we'll go into the chapter and how it goes as we go on. So, there's a lot of discourse on Bonnie being able to use Gear 5 or become Nika. I don't think there should be discourse. And the discourse in the fact that Bonnie is in Gear 5, it's people are assuming Bonnie can go into Gear 5, meaning in the final fight, we'll see Gear 5 Zoro, Nami, Sanji. That to me is an overreaction. What we got was basically a fruit stated by Saturn, I think it was the early 1100s or the late 1090s. It has to be the early 1100s. It was stated how Bonnie's fruit works is the more she believes in something, the more she's able to tap into that power. Give me a Nika-ish future is something she showed. Giant-ish future showed in the last 10 chapters. We've seen Bonnie can do things like this. It should not be something that surprises people. So, anyway, those are my thoughts. I feel it's an overreaction, and we'll see what happens next week because we haven't even seen her do anything. All she does is look like Gear 5 Luffy. She hasn't shown any strength, anything. She doesn't have the haki, nothing. We'll see. So, let's get into the chapter. Yamato's cover story can't be ignored. Not that it's bad, it's just like she's just leaving the flower capital. So, the next couple of chapters till something momentous happens, I will not discuss Yamato's cover story. So, we begin with the Iron Giant falling down and Marines running off the ship to not get crushed by it. And the Dendenmushi in the Iron Giant, or I think it's in the Iron, it should be in the Iron Giant because Iron Giant's upside down and the Dendenmushi seems to be upside down. So we see the Dendenmushi continues and it says, and the name was. So, last chapter, before it was cut off, it was talking about how the will of D and the people who have the will of D. And then it ended on the Mo. Now it has and the name was. So the will of D an adjective and then and the name was. It could be have to do with Rox D Zebek or Marshall D T. It has something to them because it goes back to what Whitebeard said when he died of you're not the one he's waiting for. So that is very interesting to me. Hopefully the message continues because it seems like at the end of the chapter the Iron Giant is back up. So maybe it can continue. We'll see. The Iron Giant seems to be looking for Joy Boy, and once again, we still don't know how sentient the Iron Giant is, but it seems to be pretty sentient and pretty capable of speech and communicating its own thoughts, like Zunisha. Were there more ancient giants, ancient robots, in the past? Like more ancient robots walking around? I'm still not sure. Maybe there was. Marines have seen Walkery. They can see, and what we see the scale. Last chapter we saw the scale of Venus, and now we're seeing the scale of Walkery, and he is massive. People, the One Piece citizens are once again they're still very loyal to the government because they have no reason to doubt the government, even though Vegapunk says he committed sins. So they still think Luffy is who after Vegapunk, which makes sense. It makes sense. I do have no problems with that. We see. I saw one tweet of somebody, Leo. Someone be like, "Oh, Leo doesn't have faith in Luffy," when it's in Leo's character that he's very naive and believe anything you tell him. That's why we have Usopp the hero. York talks about the two remaining Vegapunks, and there are a couple of videos brought out. I saw from about like Sive, Tekking, all these that brought up the fact like, okay, so York, she says through the Punk Records readings, she can tell that Lilith and Atlas are still kicking it. So, we saw that Vegapunk can regrow organs. Is there a way he can regrow? a body. That's the theory they brought. But where I wanna go is, could Vegapunk have made it so there has to be a minimum amount of punks active for punk records to keep growing? Because if so, maybe the Stella was like the only exception, but maybe if let's say there's 2 Vegapunks satellites needed for punk records to keep going. If Atlas is offed by, who's at the beach right now? Walkery is at the beach by Walkery or by Mars. It's only Lilith and York left. What punk records can't work? We'll see. So the the Gorosei are going to chase after the different Straw Hats, Luffy and the Giants, Dory and Bug make back onto the ship, party vibes. They jump. Bonnie's happy to see Luffy, and Vice Admiral's got off screened. Doll and Bluegrass are stressed on the main feed, so I won't give them any shit for that. And we can see Sanji, same shit. I really don't care to talk about Sanji interactions. I want to talk more about Luffy and the food thing. We've seen once again, Gear 5 is really, really, really draining. So, on the part of, we'll just see, listen to chapter, we see it's Walkery and Mars start attacking. So, Bonnie goes into Gear 5, sees Luffy in his most free form. Will Bonnie have to suffer the same amount of eating that Luffy does, or Luffy has to eat lots and lots, This chapter, it was a short chapter. That's why I feel, if you feel as if the review feels all around the place, it didn't have as much reactions as the last chapter, and I feel like I've covered everything. But the main point of this chapter is Bonnie's Gear 5. And what the ancient robot was saying about the Dendemushi and ancient robot talking. So the main part to me of this chapter, but mainly Bonnie's Gear 5. We will see how that keeps going and how it develops. Anyway, it's gonna be a short video this week. Next week, hopefully get a longer chapter. And I'll see you all next time. Thank you.